Whoa. The PlayStation 5. What? The Switch Pro? Oh man, that was only a root. Alienware UFO? What? What is... Oh, wait. I'm going too far into... Oh my god. What? Jesus. What is that? Oh, get it off. Get... Gah! Holy... Well, I was looking through my future goggles here to try to see the future on PlayStation 5, Switch Pro, and whatever else the future holds, but I went a little too far. The future's scary. The government's ruled by corporations. People had VR headsets drilled into their eyes, and the McRib came back. I don't want to think about it. Well, today, we're talking about the PlayStation 5, the Switch Pro, theorized, and the Alienware UFO concept. Stay tuned, and we'll see what we talk about. Hey guys, and welcome to VRAC. So, I hope you liked the new intro. Put a lot of work into it, and my brother really helped set up the whole thing, so thank you, Andrew. Well, today we're talking about the future, and that means the PlayStation 5, possibly the Switch Pro, and the newly announced concept that Alienware has released. So, we already have a lot of the solid information and look on the Xbox One Series X, or the Xbox Series X. I don't know. Their naming scheme is really messed up. I'm really excited for it, but we already have all that information. So we're going to be talking about things we don't know today. A lot of speculation, and it's just a lot of fun. So we're talking about, first, the PlayStation 5. Now, things we do know. The PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PS4 and rumored to be backwards compatible with past PlayStations, which would be amazing if it's true. Now, other things that we know are that it's coming out holiday of this year. So it's coming pretty soon, but we still haven't seen the design. We've seen a prototype. I can put it up here for you to see. And that is just going to be the dev kit. Now, people are saying that it's going to have that look, and I don't agree at all. Dev kits never look like what they turn out to be. Dev kits are actually really ugly most of the time. So it's just built for people to build off them, and it's not consumer ready yet. But the PlayStation 5 is confirmed to be PlayStation VR compatible, along with all the other PlayStation 4 games. My theory actually is, now they haven't said anything on this that I've seen, but they're probably going to release a PSVR Pro that probably ditches those PlayStation 3 Move controllers and probably ups the power of the VR, because if you have a more powerful console, why would you stick back with your old generation VR? They're probably going to release a PlayStation VR Pro. That's my guess. Now, some other things that we have here is the cost is just rumored to be around $600. There's nothing solid about that. I don't think it's going to be $600. I think it's going to be closer to $500. I mean, I think they learned their mistake from the pricing on the PlayStation 3, really. Now, there are some other rumors here. We've seen the logo. They just announced it either yesterday or today. The PlayStation 5 logo, very similar to the PS4 logo. Almost the same thing, except there's a 5. So nothing too exciting there. They did show off some of the DualShock 5, like what they say that's going to be on it, and it does seem to be a little bit different. So the PlayStation 5, a lot is still unknown about it. Now, the rumors are that it's not as powerful as the Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series X is supposed to have the edge in power, but the Xbox Series X also might not be fully compatible with all of the past Xbox games, because they did say that that is going to be conditional to what the Xbox One can play. So we'll see on that. But the big thing that I want to talk about here with the PlayStation 5 was that there was a rumor that the PlayStation 5 was going to have cartridge games. And I was like, what? Cartridge games? How? Explain. So what it is it's actually they made a patent for solid state drives that can actually be put into the PlayStation 5. And everybody's going on like, oh my God, wouldn't it be awesome if the games were on those drives? We bought them and it's already on a solid state with extra room for updates. And you just plug it in and you don't have to worry about the storage in your system really, because all the updates and everything are being stored to the actual game. That's awesome. I wish it was that way. And I really hope that it is. But with recent releases on the patent, it turns out that actually that is an expandable solid state connection drive. So what it is they're going to sell their own proprietary solid state drives, from what I can guess, judging from the PlayStation Vita. They don't want you anymore to be able to buy external from a different company. My theory is that the PlayStation 5 may, now I might be wrong if they've already announced this, that it can use externals from different companies, but I'm thinking proprietary external storage. Oh boy, that would suck. Because the PlayStation Vita, if you wanted to get like 100 and something gigabyte card, or man, I don't even know if they had a 200 gigabyte card, but like a 200 gigabyte card for the Vita, it was like $150 or more for that much storage, which is insane. So I really hope that it is not going to be that way. I hope that this is just an extra option and that you can buy the PlayStation solid states, just plug it in, and now you got more internal memory. Well, more memory on your PlayStation 5 without having a cord come out to something separate. I understand the idea of like just plugging it in and it's part of the system and it saves room. That'd make a lot of sense, especially with solid state. So that's what I'm thinking is that it's going to be, is actually a peripheral for it. And that instead of it being the video games, it's going to be, sorry, pulling up the information here. So instead of it being video games where it stores the updates on there, which, why aren't you doing that? I know that you want disk-based, but that is a great idea to save storage. It's going to be proprietary hard drives, soft or solid state drives. That's my guess. I'm banking on that. You can put the VRAC seal of approval, which has 0 value right now, but soon enough it'll have a ton, because we'll see if everything I've said is true. Now I do know that it is, they're talking about having it be 3, it does have a disk drive, obviously, for the PlayStation 4 games and its games. So it's going to be able to read 8K 3-layer Blu-rays. That's how you know that the game theory is completely debunked for the cartridges. They've already announced that it has a disk drive. It has that. So that was a little bit of an older rumor. But proprietary solid-state drives does not sound fun to me, to be honest. That would be really bad, because they could charge whatever they want for them. There's not any competition, because you can't just plug in any sort of hard drive. So that's going to be on the PlayStation 5. We still haven't heard too much about it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is another newly announced product. Now, this is a concept, but Alienware came out with the Alienware UFO. This is basically a Nintendo Switch souped up and with the Alienware logo on it, okay? So it's actually a PC. It's like a tablet that has a ton in it. So the concept UFO, and I'm getting this from The Verge, okay? The concept UFO consists of 4 pieces. There's the main head unit, which has an 8-inch 1200p display. The battery and all of the processing and graphical hardware are all in that. There are 2 controllers which attach through a solid magnetic rail system on the sides, like the Switch with the Joy-Cons. There's a hub unit that is similar to the Joy-Con controller grip, so you can actually take them off the side and put them together into the hub unit to make an actual controller. What does that sound like? This is a concept of the Switch for PC gamers. Because actually the Switch has a huge market in people that play PC. Basically, PC gamers are not only PC gamers, they'll also buy a Nintendo Switch to play the, all of the first-party software and exclusives, because they can already play everything, for the most part, on Xbox and PS4. All right, and then, so they attach together. And the head unit actually has a built-in kickstand and can plug into an external connected monitor. Now, the way that it does that is actually 2 USB Type-C ports on the Alienware UFO. It's going to be one on the top and one on the bottom of it. So no matter which way you have it, you can charge it, you can plug it out at the same time into an external television, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're going to have to power it too. You can't just run completely off the battery. So having both of those is really smart. Let's see here. Now, it is just a concept, but it runs Windows 10. And from what people were saying that actually got their hands on the unit, I think it was at CES, they're saying that it runs just like a PC. So if it brings up Windows 10, you use it, you can actually plug in a mouse and keyboard through those USB ports, the Type-C ports if you want, and then it brings up Steam, and you literally just load up games like you're loading up games on a computer. It's the same thing, except this one is actually portable. Now, the entire thing weighs just under 2 pounds, which is more than 3 times what the Switch weighs, but from what the person writing this article on The Verge says, it was comfortable enough to play with for the time that they played it. Now, I'm assuming that they didn't play it for very long. 2 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but you'd be surprised when you're holding it for so long and actually moving around and playing games with your thumbs. Now, it's been reported that it just ran F1 2019, Rocket League, and Mortal Kombat 11, not with the best graphics that they've ever seen on the game, but it was completely smooth and lag-free. Now, it actually does run a custom launcher on top of Windows 10, but the underlying software is still running standard Windows. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, because you can't just run completely standard Windows. There has to be some sort of launcher. And now, this is not being planned for a consumer release just yet, but the Alienware UFO looks sick, and honestly, I would 100% buy one. Now, the reason that it's not going to be direct competition for the Nintendo Switch, it looks exactly the same. It works exactly the same. You can play any game on a PC that you want on it, basically. I don't know about MMOs. That's the big question. Can it run World of Warcraft? Because then they could possibly release it for consumers and have it actually really sell, right? But I don't see how you would play it that much, being that you need a whole mouse and keyboard for a lot of these games. I mean, some of them can be played on consoles just fine and dandy, but a lot of the ones that PC gamers play for the most part are using mouse and keyboard, and they prefer to use mouse and keyboard. So will the portability of this make it viable enough to sell to PC gamers? Is this something that's more of an accessory that PC gamers already have? And if so, being sold like that, would they be able to sell it at a low enough price to make it intriguing? I mean, the Nintendo Switch is only $299. The Switch Lite is $199. So if this thing is super powerful and coming with all this extra stuff, I mean, I don't see it releasing for under $500, right? I mean, maybe $400, but at that point, being that it's just a computer that's running a little bit less powerfully, I mean, does it make it worth it at that point? I don't know, but that's probably why they've just released it as a concept for right now. It's just showing off sort of a tech demo, seeing what people think. Maybe someday it'll come up into consumer territory, but for right now, it's just a really cool piece. Looks really sick. I would love to get my hands on it and play it, but it's not being planned for release for people. So the future is looking pretty bright. I mean, the fact that these concepts are coming out for PC games like this and just the industry in general has me really excited. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is not confirmed at all. It is completely theorized, but there have been strong rumors for the whole last year and into this year. It is the Nintendo Switch Pro. Now, I have my own theories on this, on what Nintendo would do for a Nintendo Switch Pro, but apparently IGN, now I say that with a grain of salt because we all know how much we can trust them, but this was updated on January 8th. That can't be right. It's the 7th. Well, apparently, my future goggles are still on because this IGN article says January 8th, 2020 at 3:22 a.m. So, we are ahead in time right now. We are breaking the news here, all right? breaking news from the future goggles. Nintendo Switch Pro. News reports once again revealed rumors that a Nintendo Switch Pro more powerful model could be released in 2020. Ooh. However, while the release year is still up in the air, reports have suggested the existence of a Pro model since last year, like I already said. Now, basically, this guy, Takashi Makazuki of the Wall Street Journal back in August of 2019 reported that Nintendo has ideas for further updates on the Switch lineup after the Switch and Switch Lite to make the platform's life cycle long. Now, Nintendo has said this for a long time about the Switch. They plan on sticking with the Switch for a while. Now, the Switch can run Xbox One and PS4 games. We've seen that. The Witcher 3, I mean, I can't really say Skyrim because it is a 360 PS3 game that got ported. But I guess Skyrim, and then Overwatch, I mean, it can play this generation's games, right? Maybe not super well. The Witcher shows it can if you program it correctly. But it can play this generation's games. But here's the thing, okay? What does it do for next generation? This year coming out, the PS5, the Xbox Series X. Developers are creating games for these systems for sure, okay? To those tech specs. So where does that leave the Switch this generation? Is there any way that the Switch could possibly run games from PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X? Now, I'm a huge Switch fan. I got a couple games right there. But I say no. I say no way in heck can the Switch run PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X games. They're talking about ray tracing. They're talking about 8K with these systems, okay? They would have to go through and take out all tons of features and software and graphics to just tone down to run on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo's not stupid. They know that the lack of third-party support ended them for the Wii U. And they've shown that by all of the third-party support that they've been getting for the Switch. And they're still kind of trailing behind on the Xbox One and PS4. I mean, not every game is coming out on the Switch as well. So, this doesn't spell doom for the Switch. They can release newer models. I mean, they've done it for the 3DS. They released the new Nintendo 3DS, which upped the power and had exclusive games that you could only play on it, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. So, here is my theory, okay? This is where the articles end. This is coming straight from VRAC. Nintendo Switch Pro is a thing, is going to be coming out, but nowhere near as soon as everybody's thinking. There were analysis saying 2020 release date. There were people last year saying 2019 release date. No. Okay? What is going to happen? 2021, the Switch Pro will come out. Probably holiday of 2021. And you know why? Nintendo is going to wait to see exactly the kind of performance these new consoles are going to have. Okay? And I have two theories on what the Switch Pro is going to be. One is a little more radical, but I believe that that is definitely going to be the one that is going to happen. So, of course, you got Nintendo Switch Pro, still a hybrid console, somehow. Comes out. You got a bigger screen, more definition, more power, bigger battery, probably really fucking expensive if you're going to make that thing portable still. Comes out and it's an upgrade. It can play the games that coming out on this generation. It's going to have exclusives. In my opinion, the Pro can only or the Nintendo Switch Pro is going to be the only one that can play these games that are also coming out in the Series X and PS5. Just a guess, in my opinion, okay? I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the Nintendo Switch Pro is going to be a home-only console. That thing is not going to be portable. And you say, Matt, why would they ditch one of the core aspects in the Nintendo Switch? And I ask myself that too whenever they release a Nintendo Switch Lite. It's because they want to offer the choice, all right? What do you care about more? Games with really high graphics, some exclusives, no portability. I mean, it makes the most sense because if they make a solid console, you stick the cartridge in, you can play only at home, but it'll run those games. I think that's what the Switch Pro is going to do. It's going to up the graphics for the other games that you might already have. It's going to be an extra option. All right. In fact, I just got another idea. The Switch Pro could be a new stand or dock that upgrades the processing power, sort of like this one does a bit. Most of the processing could be transferred off board from the Switch into this extension dock, and all of the games can only be played on, well, not all the games, but all of the games that require a lot of power that could be dock exclusive, sort of like Sega 32X, and play it through to the TV. That's my new one. Home only extension. Switch Pro is not going to be a console variation, but maybe an extension. Maybe it's a home console. Maybe it's a hybrid. What do you think? I want to know. Comment down below, because right now, nobody knows, and our ideas are just running around, right? Everybody thought the Switch Lite was impossible, but then it came out and it got great reception. So what do you think about the PlayStation 5 coming out? Are you super excited? Do you think it's going to be better than the Series X? You should argue about it down below. What about the UFO? Do you think it'll ever reach consumer hands? Personally, I don't think so. Also, the Switch Pro. Is it an extension? Is it a home console only? Is it a portable? Let me know down below. I hope you guys liked watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Really enjoy just seeing people that are constantly watching and comment on a previous video, comment on this video. It's nice to know that I have people that enjoy my videos and are just watching every one of them. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you for watching VRAC, guys. You guys have a great night.